From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big noontime here on LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. Less than 24 hours ago, Chuck Schumer confirmed all my reporting on this channel, announcing we are already underway for the reconciliation vote for the fourth stimulus package. And that vote will be no later than July. Away we go. In this recording, we're going to go over how much you're going to get finally under the fourth stimulus check. We'll go over when the vote will happen, and we'll go over all the breaking news that happened leading up to Chuck's announcement. Then, in the second half of this recording, we go over the big money, including money for veterans, that will raise your benefits up and change in a lifetime. And then, in the middle of this recording, we're going to go over the $5, $10, $15, $20,000 that viewers get every few hours on this channel, and that opportunity will be yours starting today. It's a big noontime. I'm excited you're here. Let's get to it. From the West Coast to the East Coast, from my home to your home, happy Memorial Day. This is Noontime LA. How are you, everybody? Happy noontime. How is the weather where you are? Thank you for joining in. How is the weather doing, and where are you tuning in from? Drop in the comments. I'd love to hear how it is. It's cool. It's finally getting some sun in here. If you join me on Mornings at LA, there was literally no light in Los Angeles. It was about as dark and gloomy as could be. So finally we got some natural light coming in. So how's the weather, and where are you tuning in from? Drop in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Happy Memorial Day weekend to all of you. In this recording, we're going to go over all that incredible breaking great news from Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Congress, the head of the Senate, who announced that major announcement last night about fourth stimulus. Wow. We're going to go over the fourth stimulus check, how much you're going to get, and we're going to go over fifth stimulus that heats up this fall, that raises up everyone's benefits, including my veterans. Oh, boy. And then in the middle of the recording, we're going to go over the thousands of dollars you can get right now. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. I'm next with you, taped at afternoons at LA, and then evenings at LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers for a reason. I'm going to be here all weekend long. You're not going to miss a single minute of anything happening across the board. Hit that subscribe button. Next stop, 1 million. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus bill and proposal. The fourth stimulus bill, written by the House member Jalapal, is absolutely incredible. It provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic monthly, followed by a monthly stimulus check every month thereafter. Let's compare the House versus Senate plan, started right now. If you're in the live chat just after about 11:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, comment House or Senate, but not just yet. And if you're in the tape chat, if you're watching me later in the day, get ready to vote as well. So Jalapal's House bill provides a stimulus check monthly for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate, on the other hand, is from July to December. What is the monthly amount? The monthly amount under Jalapal's House bill is $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate plan, the amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Wow. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. That is per person. Now let's go back to Jalapal's bill and analyze why the data macroeconomics may be impacting the number on the bottom line. Jalapal's bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic, but legislators now believe that the pandemic may be over by the time that Jalapal's bill is called to a vote. That would mean not pandemic plus 1 year, but 1 year of stimulus checks. 12 checks over 12 months would pay $13,000 compared to this amount over 6 months. Okay, so now which one do you like? Senate or House? Drop into the live chat or into the comments of this video. Senate or House, which one do you like? And tell me where you're watching from, and have a Memorial Day weekend to you as well. Well, let's go over everything else you need to know about this. First, who gets the fourth stimulus? My veterans do, and everyone else does. So if you got a third stimulus check, you get a fourth stimulus check. If you make less than 75,000 single individual, you get a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Household, 4 or less, you get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And yes, if it's the Brady Bunch, 2 will not get a stimulus check. And if you're on benefits like veterans, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you're getting a fourth stimulus check. Wow. Next, is it taxable? No, it's not taxable, so it is not income and it's not taxable. It would not come in a wave. It would come monthly. They don't have time to send it out in waves. And the amount of the stimulus check is the same for everyone, the same for veterans, the same for adult-dependent veterans, the same for non-adult dependents, the same for children. Everyone would have the same stimulus check amount. Remember, I'm just a reporter. I just report the news. They're the legislators. They make the representations, and they represent the vote would be no later than July 4th. That would mean that you would get a check in the month of July for the month of July, a check in the month of August for the month of August. Currently underway as a two-bill, two-step, two-month process called reconciliation, and I will go over Chuck's incredible, great statement last night confirming all my reporting on this channel. It's just incredible. And the breaking news, there's no less than 8 other breaking news stories about this in just a second. But first, let's get a preview of the second half of this recording. In the second half of this recording, we're going to go over why the breaking news yesterday suggested that the raising up your benefits under fifth stimulus may be a lot more money for you than you ever thought. This is for you, my veterans, and SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits. They're going to raise your benefits up one time, but then apply a benchmark, and that benchmark's inflation. And it could be the highest number of a generation and raise you even higher. Oh boy, I got that exciting news in the second half of this video. Stay with me. But first, I want to go over this thousands of dollars that viewers are reaching out to me every now hour or 2 hours. It is literally around the clock. If you are one of those viewers, congratulations. Viewers getting rent, utilities, SNAP from this channel. And if you have not, I want that to be you. And if you have gotten money, I want you to get more. So get a pen and paper ready. Stay with the end of this video. I got a lot of money to get you. It's starting right now. Viewers have absolutely been killing it by getting a lot of money from all this coverage on this channel. I'm going to go over those monies right now. First, rent, utilities, homeowners, mortgage, and homeowners utilities. It's wonderful. How do you get it? You're going to reach out to 6 locations. Those 6 locations have different eligibility, so if you get a no from one, reach out to the next. Get that pen ready? Here we go. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. You're going to say, I'm looking for rent assistance because of COVID. That's all you say, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't use the word stimulus at all. You can say Biden Economic Recovery Act. And how much are you is getting? About $5,000 for rent, 4 to 6 months of rent. But I don't go in less than a few hours, and you just keep on killing it. So if you've had a success story, if you've watched these videos, if you've done it yourself, if you've done it with the community page, then just drop in the live chat or in the post in the comments or send me something on social media. Yes, I got $100. I got $5. I got $5,000. It empowers me and it empowers the other viewers of this channel. But I'm not done there yet. I got a lot of other money for you, and it's SNAP. Yesterday, Tim thanked me and volunteer Chris for helping him get rent. And yesterday, Lynn thanked me for her and her son for SNAP. SNAP is money for food. Let's go over what it is, how do you get it, and how much money is it. First, what is it? It is money for your food. It is administered by Department of Agriculture. If you qualify for a third stimulus check, you qualify generally for this. How do you get it? You call 211 or call up Department of Agriculture directly. And finally, how much is it? It's a fortune. It's a fortune. A family of 4 in Hawaii is now getting upwards of $16,000 over 1 year. Why so much? Because of 2 executive orders, one from Biden and one from Trump, that raised everyone's benefits up 15% between now and December. There you go. Wow, we are doing great. We are 9 minutes into this video. I got you $5,000 for rent, $16,000 for SNAP if you're in Hawaii, but I got big money for you, and it's starting right now. And I got to start by saying, I had a wonderful, wonderful, kind viewer jump into the overnight crypto show last night to say, I want viewers to know I got this money and please tell them this. So I'm going to show you that in 1 second. It's wonderful. And I just want to thank that viewer. And I want to thank viewers that act like this because he wants to help you know that the money's going out. I'll show you that in 1 second. First, there's two sets of money that's going out. First, money from your state. I'm going to go over how much it is, when you get it, and how you get it. All right, first, what is this? The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment benefits due to computer malfeasance. Well, the federal government has now ordered the states to return that money back to you. One viewer got $5,000 of money for this. How do you get it? In the bank account you have on file with your state. Pretty easy, automatic. Third, when do you receive it? It depends on the state. Every state is different. Reach out to your respective state for guidance. All right, this turns me to the second pot of money. And this is the money from IRS back to you. And that's what that viewer last night on the live show that has nothing to do with unemployment. It's a crypto show. He said, I just wanted to send you a message to make sure you saw the message. And I did. I chatted with him. He said, tell them I got my check back from IRS yesterday, that it is coming. I'm a phase one person. And I know you said that the other of you got hurt to $2,000. Tell them it's coming. Stay positive. Wow, what a wonderful viewer. So let's go over that money right now. The federal government is returning the taxes you paid on your unemployment back to you. And let's go over how much it is, when you get it, how you get it, and finally, tracking information about it. All right, first, how much is it? It's a lot. So it's whatever portion of the taxes you paid to IRS on your unemployment benefits from 2020. Here's an example. You had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. You paid a total tax bill of $5,000 to IRS, of which $4,000 was the taxes on the unemployment benefits. You're getting back $4,000. Congratulations. Next, how are you getting it? It's going to be coming generally in an envelope to the mailbox unless you listed a direct deposit account on your 2020 return. So watch that mail, go surgically through it over the next few weeks because it may be slid in there. It's a laser thin envelope, beige or white check with a beige or white envelope with a check inside of it to you. Finally, when are you getting it? IRS had said everyone will have their checks sent out by May, which doesn't mean you receive it in May. You'll likely receive the first or second week of June. They said the first wave was single individuals, non-complicated returns, like the viewer last night. Second wave was single individuals, complicated returns. And then the last one, single filers, not single individuals. The last one was joint filers, and they just went out last week. So understand, look for the next 2 weeks to get it. Finally, tracking. Yes, you can track it. About 70% of the time it works. Go to irs.gov, put in a username, password, set up an account, free, of course, and then put in your social security number. Go to a transcript search, and it'll reveal 7 out of 10 times your name, the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid, and the tax refund that's coming back to you. There you go. Wow. I mean, I'm really excited, and I'm even more excited because of what Chuck Schumer said last night. Chuck Schumer last night confirmed all my timeline reporting of this channel for the last few weeks, and he did it as exactly when I said he was going to confirm it, and he announced the timeline going forward exactly as I've been reporting it. So let me go over his statement, and then I'll go over all the breaking news leading up to that breaking news over the last week, which shows how this has snowballed. Chuck Schumer's statement late last night was the following: that the president can continue as a grown adult to meet with whoever he wants to meet with and may continue to meet with Republicans over lunch. But for purposes of Congress and the legislature, they are already underway in the reconciliation process, and will finish it with or without the Republicans, and the bill will be signed into law no later than that first week of July. There you go. So the votes are coming, the votes are getting set up and away, and we are already on our way out the door and on the tow truck and the tow hitch. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go over all the details that led up to this breaking news statement late last night, which ironically happened exactly when I told you it was going to happen. It started over a week ago when Jalapal, who wrote that House bill, wrote a letter to Speaker Pelosi and Leader Schumer. Jalapal's letter to them was the following: call the vote. What are we waiting around for? Call the vote. Well, guess what's happened now in less than 1 week? The votes are being called. So why did Jalapal say that, and what was the substance leading up to Jalapal's letter? When Jalapal wrote the House bill, it's a bill. It's introduced to the House floor. Jalapal got over 100 House Democrats to write the president a letter saying, when we do forced stimulus, we're putting them in multiple stimulus checks, as in Jalapal's bill. So Jalapal then last week wrote Schumer a letter saying, call the vote. What are we waiting around for? When Jalapal wrote that letter, she got over a dozen members of the House to sign the letter. And guess who those dozen members were? Part of the people who wrote the letter to the president saying, we're putting Jalapal's monthly stimulus checks into the forced stimulus package. Wow. Now, it gets even better than that. And it starts with this. A week ago yesterday, this letter was written by 7 members of the House to the President of the United States, saying that when the forced stimulus is finished, we are putting in forced stimulus checks with you. The actual language they use is we're going to work with you, but that's a euphemism because they mean that they are going to write it. The president doesn't write bills, they write bills. But who are these people? Why would they be writing the stimulus checks? Who are they? These 7 members are part of the very small subcommittee, House Ways and Means Subcommittee, that is solely and exclusively responsible for writing legislation about stimulus checks in the United States. Oh my goodness. They wrote the first stimulus checks. They wrote the second stimulus checks. They wrote the third stimulus checks. And a week ago yesterday, right as we're getting ready to vote, they wrote the president saying we are going to be putting those 4 stimulus checks monthly into the 4th stimulus package. Oh my goodness, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, I just sense that Captain Obvious is walking around through the set right now. I mean, this is just mind-blowing. And then the president, a week ago, yesterday, last Friday, not this Friday, but the Friday before that, said, I'm going to give one more week to the Republicans, and after that, I'm calling the vote. And guess what happened? Yesterday, Chuck Schumer said, that's it, time's up. We are now going to voting. So there we go. Now, this Tuesday, the President of the United States had even better news. A little complicated, potentially very complicated, but I'm going to make it easy for you. And it's just mind-blowing. So the President of the United States, to pay for the forced stimulus, is going to raise the U.S. corporate tax rate. It's currently 21%. He wanted initially higher, but then the moderate Democrats said, no, you're a little too high. Bring it down, Mr. President. So he did. Deal. That was about a month or so ago. So what did he do on Tuesday? He reached out to countries around the globe, their leaders, and said, I want to agree with you to raise the global corporate tax rate. What's the global corporate tax rate? It basically means that if you have a corporation in New York, you will be less encouraged to move the corporation, let's say, to France, because the global corporate tax rate is now higher overseas. Well, that was the first part of the good news. The second part of the good news came later that day, when the president revealed that when forced stimulus is signed into law, he's going to go back to those G7 countries around the globe to try to get them to sign it, to put their pen to paper and sign the global corporate tax rate at 15%. And if they do, then he's going to drop the U.S. corporate tax rate lower because he doesn't need it this high. Oh my goodness. So we're going to get forced stimulus checks and we're going to get a lower corporate tax rate. Does it get better than that? It does. So it does get better than that. On Thursday, 3 Republicans came in with a counter proposal, to which the president said, no deal. No deal. Just go do your recon. And then Thursday, Senate Democrats, who you've been asking, where are they? We haven't heard a lot from the Senate Democrats, came out and said, we've seen the counter proposal. We ain't doing it. We're calling the vote. And then, of course, it brought us to yesterday, when Chuck Schumer said, thank you for your time and patience. We are going to voting. Oh, boy, it is just wonderful. And the only thing that would be more wonderful than this is you getting rent and utilities and food and internet. I want you to reach out to the volunteers. If you've tried and you've had problems getting it yourself, where are they? They're on the community page. Where's the community page? In the description of this video. Open the description, and then you're going to see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of the house is the community page, news.lalate.com/community. They're volunteers. They're viewers just like you. They're salt of the earth. They've stepped forward to help you get rent. And they're just killing it with you, Between your efforts and them, viewers are getting money for all these items every 1 to 2 hours. And if you've been a success story, drop in the comments in the live chat or anything. But reach out to the volunteers. They can help you get this money, rent, utilities, homeowners help, and more. Here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back in 60 seconds with you with great, exciting news still about fourth stimulus, new developments about fifth stimulus, and a personal message for me, for my veterans, and for viewers of this channel. Stay with me. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Noontime LALATE with more exciting details about your fourth stimulus happening just today and your fifth stimulus package and a personal message from me to you this Memorial Day weekend. How are you? This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. I'm next with you with afternoons LALATE at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then evenings LALATE at 5 p.m. And then evenings crypto. So hit that subscribe button like right now. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Later in this video, you're going to see more about why membership's very helpful. Thank you for your very nice, kind comments during the commercial break. I saw some viewers saying, I got $100 here, $100 there. Oh, it's just so inspiring. I really, really love it. And I hope it inspires you as well. Let's cut to fifth stimulus right now. It's in the fall in September, and it raises up your benefits. And it raises up my veterans' benefits as well. So let's go over the details. First, they're going to raise your benefit limits. Then they're going to remove the asset limit and inflationary benchmark, remove the marriage penalty, and remove the income exclusion. Let me go over that and explain why this is the single biggest payout you'll ever see in a generation, and what's the breaking news about this one as well. All right, so this is fifth stimulus in the fall, and they're going to raise up everyone's benefits. Who's everyone? You, including my veterans. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, raised up one big time to a new number. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That benchmark will be inflation. Now, we all know what inflation is, but what's a benchmark and how does it work? Every December, you get a letter in which they've applied the benchmark for next year. And the letter says either your benefits are staying the same, meaning the benchmark was 0, or we're raising you a certain percentage, meaning the benchmark was 1 or 2 or 3%. So what is the benchmark this time? Inflation. Now, here's what you need to know. Is that on Friday, the Department of Labor released more economic data that suggests that the inflationary rate continues to go up higher than many people expected. We have to figure out where the inflation rate will be in November, December when they write that letter. Jeremy Siegel 2 weeks ago said 20%. That might be on the high end. Then the Federal Reserve out of Georgia earlier this week said the growth rate is going from like 4 to 10.5%. That looks like a 6% inflation. And over the last week, we've heard about inflation from about 4 to 7%. Let me show you why, for example, 6%. Why this all is game-changing and life-changing for you. First, they'll raise up everyone's benefits. Then in November, they'll look at the inflation rate. Let's say it's 6%. Then they step you up for 6% next year. But it's not just for next year. It's lifetime. Because once you step up, you never step down. So if the year after that inflation is 0, you don't step down. You're always at plus 6% because of this year being so high. And if the year after that it's 1%, then it's plus 1 additional on top of the 6. The fact that inflation is expected to be so high this year is incredible because your benefits will be raised lifetime at that amount. All right, let's go to the other items you need to know what's in the fifth stimulus, and they for SSI reform, and they are removing the asset cap just in time to get those stimulus checks in the bank account. So it's dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than about $3,000 in the bank account. It's going away. They're going to remove the 1960s law that says you cannot work. Now they're going to remove that. So if you want to work, you can $1,000, $2,000 and still stay on benefits. And finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. Just an awful provision that prevents you from getting married. Now love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest and not suffer a loss of benefits. And if you are married, you won't be penalized. Fifth stimulus, when does it heat up? September, likely to impact your bank about October, November. And then they'll raise a letter coming in about November, December for next year. Now, here's what you need to know, is that fifth stimulus has a lot of other things in there that I can't cover in a 30-minute video that's currently at 26 minutes. So because of that, there's a value to this channel, and it's membership. The membership link's at the top of the channel, pinned comment. Every day I send out to members a list of what's in the fifth stimulus, the fourth stimulus, and the third stimulus. For example, the fifth stimulus has in there money for single individuals, money in there for hazard pay, money in there for seniors. And so what's important to understand is that the president's naming of the fifth stimulus as the family plan is confusing because there's money in there for single people who don't have a family. So what I want you to know is that a new Political report released yesterday asked Americans who are supporters of the president, do you know what's in the fourth or fifth stimulus package? More than 50% said they had no idea. And the remaining percent that said they had some sense said they had very little idea of any of what's in there. That's why I want you to be empowered. I also want you to be empowered at least by subscribing to this channel, because when we go into July, it's going to be a confusing month. In the month of July, there's multiple items happening at the same time, and you may look at it and get confused. And I want you to be empowered with that information. For example, 4 stimulus checks going out in July. Also in July, third stimulus checks going out at the same time. Also in July, other Jalopal bills besides this Jalopal bill. Also in July, a budget bill. Has nothing to do with this. So things can get very confusing by looking at them at all the same time. Finally, let's go over the voting of the budget of the reconciliation, which is a new add-on to this coverage of this channel. It's important you know this because I want you to be empowered with understanding the timeline of everything. There's about 9 voting steps to get a reconciliation done. And those 9 voting steps I'm going to explain to you right now. The first half are procedural. The second half are substantive. They're required by the Constitution. So there's no cutting of corners. There's no way to do it in one day. There's no way to do it in 2 days. There's actually 9 steps. Step 1 is the House subcommittees vote and approve the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor. All House members approve the procedural bill. Step 3, all senators approve the procedural bill. Step 4, the president signs the procedural bill. It is now law. That's a tow truck passing over the finish line. Then we do the substantive bill. Number 5, the House subcommittee writes the substantive bill and calls it for a vote and approves it. That's those 7 people we were talking about earlier in this video. Then the House floor votes on the whole substantive bill. That's number 6. Number 7 and 8 are the 2 days in which the Senate does the vote-a-rama and makes amendments to the bill. That's when you see what the senators would do about the stimulus checks. That's 7 and 8. And finally, step 9, the president signs it. So I want you to understand that this is not a procedure that is 1 day. It's not a procedure that's 3 days. There's 9 voting steps of this procedure. It's what's required by the Constitution. There's no way to cut corners. But when you're empowered with this information, then it works. Finally, a message for my veterans and a message for my viewers. This Monday is Memorial Day, and I want to thank the veterans of this country for what you've done for serving our country. I want you to understand that you have always been covered here on this channel and always been the focus of this channel. When this channel launched last year, no one was talking about people on benefits. No one was talking about seniors. No one was talking about veterans and their stimulus check. No one was. And when this channel had no less than 100 subscribers, I did a video that talked about SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans getting a first and second stimulus check. The video with just a few hundred viewers went viral, which is very rare in the financial space. 3 million views. Why? Because no one was covering you. And then when we were doing third stimulus just recently, no one was covering when veterans were getting checks, when veterans weren't getting checks. That has been the focus and remains to be the focus of this channel. So I salute you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your family for your service as well. Finally, a message which is important to deliver, especially on noontime, which is a very well-watched show. I understand that a lot of people may be gone for today and gone this weekend. So it's even more important because this is sort of a tighter family watching the show right now, and even a better time to deliver the message. This channel is all about positivity. It is not about negativity. And it's important to understand that I understand that a reconciliation process is one political party. So it may not be your political party that is doing the reconciliation process. And you may not like the fact that it is not your party doing the reconciliation process. But this is not the time and the place to bring your displeasure with the party doing the reconciliation process to the chat. This is about the subject, about the process, and about the actual item going out the door. So ultimately, the focus is for people to be informed and to be knowledgeable and to be focused on getting things done. And so that's why I've launched on this channel what I'm calling today Purple Power, Positivity, Patrol, or Push. So if you see anyone that is jumping into the live chat and is talking about something that really has nothing to do with this, but has a problem with the fact that the reconciliation process is a one-party process, or anything that's inherently negative, something directed towards you, indicate it to me. If I don't catch it, send me a private message. And if it's someone that simply is just confused, then enlighten them. You have the information. For example, a viewer says they're just dragging their feet. They can get this done in one day. You know now, it can't be done in one day. It's 9 steps. So explain to them when it is. When they have the information, then we're all empowered. And then we can get together through this process one at a time. And with that, thank you for joining me on a beautiful noontime. I'm back with you on Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Then followed by Evenings LA, and then late evenings crypto and overnights crypto. What a big day it's going to be. So stay with me. Stay informed. Always stay focused. Always stay motivated. If you've not hit that subscribe button, hit it right today. Like the video. And if you want to become a member, consider becoming a member. Get access to what's in the 4th, 3rd, and 5th stimulus package daily so you don't miss any of the big money. Stay informed. Stay focused. Have a beautiful noontime. And I'll see you in just a little bit on Afternoons LALATE.